Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 o'clock on Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. It is p.m. in the Central Time Zone on June 12th. I can't believe that it's June 12th already. How is everybody doing? Glad to see everyone's here. I'm getting the hang of this new app where I get to talk to you guys like this. I think I figured it out with the scheduling of it. I can see people that are in here. It's good to see everybody. How's everybody doing? Ernest is in here. Ernest Cornar, Ines Dunbar. Giovanni's here. Martha's here as well. Luis Becerra, Raymond Garcia. Awesome. So he's glad it's the end of the week. I am as well. Tymet says he's doing good. How are you? To Raymond. Awesome. Good to see everybody in here. I am sitting on the front porch. It feels very different for me. I'm not a porch sitter kind of guy, but there is a front porch here at this house. And I'm sitting in a rocking chair in the front porch and enjoying a beverage on this Friday. And I'm enjoying that beverage inside the Jabba Lives koozie. I don't know if you guys saw that yesterday that I announced that there is new merch in the Etsy shop, not the Teespring shop because I couldn't figure out a way to do it with Teespring. So I did it on the Etsy shop where I could have koozies to kind of celebrate the live streams that we've been doing. So that is my setup. How are you guys doing today? Um, Romulo Cesar Camargo is here. Greetings from Brazil. I always watch reviews before getting a pair of new shoes. That is awesome. Thanks so much. I hope I haven't steered you too wrong. Um, Ty Mayat says, "Oh man, I'm watching from my phone, so I might not be able to call in. That's okay." There's no subject for today's call in. I don't think there has been before. We haven't had like a theme. I think the first time I did, I tried to have a theme, but maybe I'll throw out a theme out there for this week. But if you guys want to call in, I'll open up the phone lines here in just a minute. Um, and and we could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Michael Fisher says, "Get smart shoe phone." That's right. That's why the Endorphin Pro is so expensive is because there is a SIM card inside, and you can make phone calls with it. Only like that's the only feature it has. But all you can do is make phone calls in case you're ever stranded in the middle of a run. Then you can phone a friend for help. Jeff Flanagan says the Endorphin Pro has pretty good call quality. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't hear you guys yet. We'll have to see, I guess. But I feel like I feel like I'm getting good call quality on this end so far. So we'll see. Stevie76 is here. Luis Becerra is here. Luis says my resting of the cardio. Hold on, guys. I gotta take care of something real quick. All right. Part of it is that I wanted to just use that mute feature because my understanding is that it catches up the slowest in terms of like musculoskeletal system, it's getting in shape, and so the system that takes longer to catch up. But once it does, it's very robust. And so I think that like if you're at a place where you're at higher mileage and your heart rate is able to handle it and your lungs are able to handle it, um, then you should be able to throw a whole bunch of intensity at it. I might tone down the mileage a little bit as you're adapting to the new kind of stress of higher intensity work. But I mean, the whole point of for me, the high intensity, or not the high intensity, but the low heart rate training is so that way it gives you a lot of base to be able to then leverage um, some speed work against it. And by the way, for those of you who's already back inside, she left. So that was pretty fast. All right. So that's not in yet, but that's cool. We can just keep talking. Franklin Julia says SIM card on the Endorphin Pros, but USB port on the Meta Racer. That's funny because it does look like I don't know if you guys are familiar with what the Meta Racer looks like on the front, but at the front of it, on like the toe box, there's a little hole. I think they describe it as a hole for like water drainage. It's the shape and dimension of the C port. So I think we got someone calling in on the line. Let's see who that is. Yo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, who's this?
This is Daniel from Austin. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Daniel from Austin? How's it going down there? I think it's pretty hot for you down there, hasn't it been?
Oh, it's definitely, but you can usually catch around and
Sounds
that's about it.
not so great. Oh man. More power.
Are you?
More
Where are you precisely right now?
Iowa.
Still in Iowa. All right. Very
Yeah.
good.
It's been great. This morning, it was like almost. It was 55 degrees at the start, about 70 degrees. Got back. It's humid, but I mean, I'm not going to complain about whether that starts out in the 50s in the summer for running. It's just, yeah, very good. It is.
Fastest on a run. Slow
it,
ones can't hang.
yeah, it's not as bad as that time I was running up in Wisconsin in the woods up there, where the bugs were faster than me by far, and they were angry and they just kept biting. Here, I think the bugs kind of like accidentally fall on me, and then they're like, "Oh, look, a meal," and then they'll bite me. But like in Wisconsin, just a little bit further up from here, um, they were angrier. Fun and go. Did we lose him? Mm. So, sorry about. Everyone's saying bad connection. Probably on my end then. All right. Calling back. Hello?
Hey, the call is. No,
Yeah.
it happens. I wanted to share week, and I started running is, but I ran by
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Newberry. It's kind of a race you've done over for what challenge, but I do without racing.
Duration challenges. I'm just not a fan of the virtual race, but that's cool.
But yeah, it's a summer scavenger hunt. It sounds pretty fun. I'm enjoying it so far.
All right.
It's all by.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to let you go because it sounds like we're having some issues with the call. But thanks for calling in, and I'll fill out everybody else in. Take care, man.
All right, peace. Bye.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah. So sounds like we were having a hard time hearing it, but it was Daniel from Austin. So yeah. Sorry about the connection. I know a lot of you guys are complaining about it. Maybe it's this position on the porch. Maybe I'm just destined to not be a porch sitter. I can move to a spot in the backyard that's like right outside the window where the router is, which is where my wife works from. I don't know how much you'll appreciate that or not. But can you guys hear me now? Are we getting okay? At least signal with me. What Daniel and I were just talking about was something that he's been doing, which was Gary Robbins has been putting on, who is a fantastic ultra runner. I'm sure you guys have seen his video. People that are fans of this channel have probably watched Ginger Runner's video on Where Dreams Go to Die on Gary Robbins' attempts at finish. Barkley Marathon, and he's apparently on an event which is like a scavenger hunt that you could do over a period of days, and there's different challenges and badges that you earn over the course of the competition, which sounds really cool, and I like the idea of that. Yeah, so cool. So that's what the event was, and we were just talking about how I'm not a huge fan of virtual races. I just don't know why. I just can't get into them. They're not a huge thing. I don't know. They don't do it for me. I'd rather just have a good long run that day. But I do like things like the Grit Summer Distance Project and this idea of Gary Robbins competition, which I think he said it was like the CMTR or something. Daniel was telling me challenge that's going on. So I will try and find a link for that, and I'll put that in the show notes down below. So I think I'm going to close the call-in line, or the fan line is. I'm not calling it the fan line. The app calls it the fan line. I'm going to close that down just because it doesn't seem to be working all that well today. I think we're doing okay when I'm just talking to you guys. And so maybe I can be a porch sitter. I'll be a porch sitter just for today. And we'll see how it goes. Let's see. So yeah, Stevie 76 Love Line. Who remembers that show? I mean, I think that date definitely people, if they remember Love Line and calling in, and I just remember that. That was like revolutionary. It was like, I can't believe it happens on the radio. It's amazing. Daniel M. He's coming in with the CMTR scavenger hunt. I think that's pretty cool. It's very creative. It also makes it feel like kind of like a version of the Barkley marathons, but for like regular, like reasonable. Like I love the idea of kind of like to a place, a local like running track star who also was running the 400 hurdles. And so like that was like the main flagship event for the entire like multi-day competition. And just some of like the pre-race like pyrotechnics and laser light show was amazing. And he raced in it, and he was just a beast. I've never seen anyone run like that with that much just like pure like just energy. It was insane. And he just broke a 300 hurdle record as well. And we're getting Kofuzi. Oh no. All right, let me try moving somewhere else. Maybe I'm gonna good luck from the backyard with this corona. But Warholm just broke the 300-meter record, and McCurdy just tweeted about it and said, like, see, this is why virtual races, people complain about how they're not like the real thing. We don't need them because it can set a world record if you can do it. And I replied, I'm like, if you're trying to like say home did it, so like we could do it too, be a little bit unfair because that a real beast. Like, well, he's like saying like the point I was trying to make is that we've had, as far as his like people that he coaches, we've had hundreds of people setting PRs from the 5K to the mile, doing it by themselves, and like having the race environment isn't what people think that they need. And I was like, fair enough. That's a good point. So maybe I'm giving like virtual races too hard a time, but yeah, so maybe I'm giving back virtual races too hard a time, but I do like the idea of different kind of scavenger hunts, multi-day, longer type events that take a different kind of intensity. So, all right. So everyone's having some problems with the signal here, and I really apologize for that. I'm in the backyard now, which I did last phone in Friday from the backyard, and I got a lot of weird looks from the neighbors. But the neighbors aren't out right now, so I think I'm good. Hopefully it's better. Let me know if it's better. But you know what? You know what it is? It's the Endorphin Pro. The carbon fiber plate in the Endorphin Pro, I think, is interfering with my signal. That's probably what it is. Yeah, and his Dunbar says the basement worked best for Wayne and Garth, and Kofuzi should take note and get back there. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I do need to just get back into the basement. The dungeon is where I'm meant to be. But we'll see. We'll see. It sounds like maybe the backyard is a little bit better, but I'm also thinking that it just might be like, I move and like it's temporary better, and then I don't know. The other thing that's going on is this. I think this app makes the call and the signal go through um, internet, not cellular, right? So the other thing that happens on Friday afternoons, which is why I kind of also the other reason why I like phone in Friday, is that my daughter has her origami class on Fridays, and so she's on Zoom for like 2 hours. And my wife's still working. I don't know if she has a video call going on right now too. So we just might be like, you know, pushing this little tiny Wi-Fi router way beyond what it's capable of doing. So that could be it. Uh, Martha says maybe the endorphin speed with a nylon plate will be a better phone. It could be. I'll certainly have to try it out. Someone else was like, I put the video out today about, um, someone commented today. I don't know if it was the comment on the video I did today or on another video, but they were saying today, because the shoes that I compared were the Hyperion Temple and the Boston 9. And the person was like, yeah, this sounds like the Hyperion Speed is really going to be the best shoe. And he was talking about it like he has it and is running with it. But that shoe's not out yet, is it? I don't think it's out yet. That's not my understanding. But I guess I'll just have to look for it and see when is it supposed to be released. I don't have any information on that. But yeah, that's a shoe that I'm also interested in. But what's funny is like the nylon plate, I didn't know it was a nylon plate that was in the endorphin speed, but it seems like a step backwards, because that's what was in the original Zoomfly, the Zoomfly 1. It was Lunarlon, not React, but it was Lunarlon foam with a carbon, they call it, is like, I'm going to say quote unquote, I'm not quoting it directly, but like their language was something along the lines of a carbon infused nylon plate. So that sounds like what Martha's describing with the endorphin speed. So maybe that's just like the path that they're choosing to iterate, or maybe they're like, this is a good like knockdown version. I don't know. Mark Rainey says he's got a Brooks Ghost 12 in the mail. We'll see if the drop feels like 12. Yeah, I think I haven't run into Brooks Ghost 12. I think the 13 just came out recently, or at least I've been seeing reviews for it, but who knows? A lot of these other guys, their reviews come out way early compared to like when the shoes drop. It throws me off quite a bit. And then people are like, hey, how come you don't have a review out? And I'm like, because I have to wait to buy it like other regular people. So Jeff Flanagan says, you should switch to the Indoor Phone Pro. There is an indoor phone here. There's a landline. There's two of them. And one of them is a rotary phone, like a legit working rotary phone. And I took a picture of it for, I think, last week's. Was it last week's or 2 weeks ago's Phone in Friday? Yeah, I had it a lot, like for last Friday, and it still works. And this house, my wife's grandmother used to live in this house, and she's like, I recognize the phone. It used to be grandma's phone. And so there's certain things that are in this house that like are definitely giving my wife a different kind of nostalgia, where she remembers things like things that look very different because someone else has lived in here since her grandmother lived here, but certain things are still the same. So she's getting a different kind of nostalgia. Shanonymous says, do you have to do the phone in? I like it maybe once a month. I'm not a weirdo, I swear, but I'd rather see your face in a live time than a picture of you using an endorphin as a phone. Yeah. I think that maybe is right. I think that what I need to do is I need to find, well, I had a guest plan for today, but the guest backed out at the last minute, and I didn't want to like pressure the guest. So that's kind of like what the thing was. So I thought that like it might be a good way to be able to get people that might not want to like set up video to be able to do like very, very brief, like phone in kind of like call in kind of things. So I thought that would be fun for it. But yeah, I think I hear what you're saying, Shannon, though. I think that it makes more sense. And then I could like, because I'm starting to get it set up like a real live streamer setup where I can like show you things that are on my desktop. I could show you like things that we could look at online. Like we could have looked up Gary Robbins, event. So I think that it does make more sense. I think that I might use this a little bit less, maybe not weekly. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like my biggest concern with this when we started doing it was that I feel like the novelty was going to wear off. And I was like, how does it stay interesting once the novelty wears off? And today we're having some issues with like the call-in line, so I'm not going to take in any calls. So it's me just, and you're getting none of the benefit that we normally have. So I hear what you're saying, Shannon. But thank you guys for like bearing with me for today, though. I appreciate that. Martha says, just talked to Run Warehouse, and the Speed is coming in July, as far as they know. Some early reviewers who got prototypes have preferred the Speed. It's got flexibility. I've seen, I don't know if you guys follow Molly Seidel. I think it's By Golly Molly, or It's By Golly Molly on Instagram. She's been running in them lately. At least I think that's what she's been running in lately. Beforehand, she had been running a lot in the Triumph 17s. And she had posted an Instagram story a while ago that she's already been through like 5 pairs of them. But the last couple of pictures that I saw from her, it looked like they were Endorphin Speed. They didn't look like Endorphin Pros. And sometimes people will ask her, and she'll be like, "It's a prototype." And like, I don't know if she's like the type of pro. Like some of the running pros are just like, I don't know, it was a shoe. Like they sent it to me, you know. And some of them are like know exactly what they have and are just being, vague because they're not allowed to talk about them yet. But I just feel like they're missing a real opportunity, like the brands are, I think, by like when they send like the shoes early to their people, to not have them like talk about it. Like we were talking about King Chesrek, who runs for Skechers, and he's been running out in Flagstaff, and he's been running with an interesting crew. He's been running with a Nike guy and a Hoka guy. I don't remember their names right now, but he's been running with the 2 or the 3 of them, and he's been running in some zebra print shoes, some prototypes, and like I think that just like that's great, stokes so much interest, at least for people like me. I love it. Yeah. Stevie76 says rotary phone. Yeah, I want to like I want to test my daughter to see if she like knows how it works, but I also don't want to accidentally call someone either. One of the toys that's here as well is and because there's some baby toys that are here, because people that are like in my wife's generation will come with their family to stay with their parents that live here normally. And so there's some baby toys. There's a toy like rotary phone as well. And so it's like, it amazes me that like the baby knows that it's a phone. You know what I mean? Because when she thinks of a phone, like she has many toy phones and they're all square. They look like smartphones. But like if you give her like a toy old phone, she'll recognize it instantly as a phone. Like I don't know how they do that. I remember at one point, it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, my older daughter, when she was about 5, I think, they thought maybe she needed to get her eyes checked. And so we went to a pediatric, I don't know, optometrist or ophthalmologist. I never know the difference, and I apologize to anyone who is in one of the two professions. I know that there's a difference, and I apologize that I don't know it. But we went to one to get her eyes checked. And I thought it was really cute because instead of it being like, read the first row of letters and you're like E, Z, O, P, Q, when you're dealing with kids, they might not know their letters. So they're all like emojis and like pictograms. But one of them was a phone. And so my daughter goes like house, dog, son. And then she's like, I don't know what that is. And it was like a bat, like the bat phone. Like it was like that kind of rotary phone. And yeah, so she's like, I don't know what that is, but I see it. And the doctor's like, I suppose we probably need to update these a little bit. It was pretty funny. Martha said she had a landline and called on the first call-in I had, but it's not a rotary phone. Yeah. Bert Leguest says, my grandma still has a rotary phone. Yeah, it's amazing that they still work. It's so cool that they still do it. Martha says, the stream has been working fine since I went to the backyard. Just FYI. Thank you for the update, and I appreciate that. Bert Leguest says, not a big fan of the Kofuzi Radio concept either. I think most of us just prefer video on YouTube. Yeah, I think so too. I think that it's because like I had kind of already figured out the live stream part. Like I feel like if I were really struggling with the video and it was like not working, and like I know that like the video stream isn't always 100% rock solid from the basement, but I think if I were reluctant to do live streaming because of that, then I think the radio concept makes a lot more sense. But it seems to me like a step back, and I just haven't really felt like that. Like the novelty of the call-in part doesn't overcome like the lack of a video. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to get around that too, right? And so one of the things that I've been thinking about is um, Anchor, ANCOR, which is the app that I use to create the podcast versions of these live streams. That app, it has a feature, if I were to like live record into the app directly, where you can send me voice messages. So I don't know if you guys have listened to someone that uses it really well is Seth Godin. And I don't think he uses Anchor. But what Seth Godin has is he has a thing where you can like send voice questions, like voicemails, and he'll respond to those. So I'm thinking maybe we could figure out some way to do that. And I'll incorporate that on Phone In Friday, but Phone In Friday might be video from now on. So we'll figure out something to do, so that way we can make it more enjoyable for everybody. Because I feel it too. I mean, it's nice that I like didn't have to set anything up and I could just sit outside, but I'm also like, it is more fun for me too when there's video. I don't know why, but it just is on this end as well. MCM says, yo, what's going on? My first trail race since COVID is tomorrow morning. Hawk Creek 3 mile. Awesome. Well, good luck. MCM, where are you? What part of the country are you in? I'm assuming you're in the US, but I don't want to assume that. Let me know where you are. I want to know what the situation is with that. Is it normally just a 3 mile race? Because it seems like a short trail race. Because we were talking about that other one that Michelle on Instagram had told me about in Indiana, in Valparaiso. And it was like a 5K trail race. And everyone was like, that's awesome. But like 5K and trail race don't always go together. You know. Martha says, did you know the endorphin line will have a black colorway, Codorphins, or Mfuzi colorway? Martha, I did not know that there was going to be black colorways for the endorphin line. And if that is the case, I'm not going to buy them until they come out in black. So the other shoe that I'm really excited about from Saucony this year is the Ride, because they're not doing the ISO whatever. Like they've abandoned that in all their shoes. And now they're going back and they're calling it the Ride 13. Because I enjoyed the Ride 10. Then there was Ride ISO 1 and Ride ISO 2, so 11 and 12. And then now they're going back to just Ride 13. The first two colors are going to be like cream, and the other color is orange. So that comes out June 15th, but I don't think black is one of the launch colorways. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I think that's what happened with the Freedom as well. But if the rest of the endorphin line comes out in black, that makes me extremely excited. I'm so excited about that. That makes me very happy. That pretty much like made my day today. I mean, there was other things that made my day today from like a family perspective, but from a running perspective, that makes my day. I'm very happy to hear that. Jeff Elliott says, I watched a lot of NAZ Elite stuff on YouTube after reading Matt Fitzgerald's book, and I saw Matt in the background in one of the videos. Oh, did you really? Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Because I've been watching some of it, like as they were creating it, as the videos came out. And, I always felt like I recognized some of the people that were in those videos. But I'll have to go back and rewatch them and try to spot Matt Fitzgerald out. That's cool. I really enjoyed his book a lot. I thought it was, it resonates with me a lot because it was basically me. I felt like a guy in his 40s trying to see if he could be faster and training like a pro to see, how far he could take it. There's just so many things that I can kind of relate to on that. Yeah. So Tony uses Kofuzi's loud and clear. Awesome. Very cool. Carlos says, Kofuzi, we tried the Alpha Flies. I'm going to pass on those. I just think that they're a little bit too weird and it came out at a weird time for me. So I think I'm going to pass on those. Jeff Elliott says, NAZ Elite is Hoka Runners in Flagstaff. Yeah. Oh, Martha says that the Audi Pro is available for pre-order on Running Warehouse. What? I'm going to go check that out. Everybody go check that out later. Because that is the shoe that I'm waiting for the shoes that have come out so far this year. Everything's come out Except now I really want a black Endorphin Pro. That just sounds amazing to me. I'm also very excited about the Brooks Hyperion Elite 2 because my understanding is that's supposed to be made out of DNA Flash and not whatever they put in the first one. But the AutoZero Pro is one that I'm super excited about. LOL Monster 87 is also running a first race of the season tomorrow, 5K. Happy to race again. Awesome. MCM is in Georgia. Very cool. So, all right. So he's got a 3 mile or about a 5K trail race tomorrow happening. Cool. Good luck. I hope everyone stays safe, but enjoy it, man. Oh, man, that's so cool. That's so cool. Running with Pete says, happy Friday. Tonight, my wife is taking part in an open 1,500 meter track meet. Whoa. It's the Desert Dream Meet in Santan, which is in Phoenix. High school and open divisions, pro mile tomorrow. Stephanie Garcia, Sarah Hall. Whoa, that could be cool. There could be really cool drop-ins to that. I would definitely go and just hang out at the pro mile to see what's going on if I were in the area. Awesome. Well, good luck to your wife. Hope she has a good run tomorrow. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Shannon says, I like the change of topics with live stream from question to question. ADD? Yes. I have a very short attention span. I get distracted very easily. I get distracted very easily. Versus when a caller calls and has a question. That doesn't interest me. You're so kind and spend more time than I'd like. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I appreciate that. That's a very, I think, astute observation. MCM says for his trail race, there's a 225 participant cap, 3 mile and 6.1 mile distances. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that those are going to be the first races to come back because they're away from people. You don't have to close down streets. There aren't going to be like tons of spectators. Makes sense. Cool. Yeah. Jeff Elliott says, I'm 46, so yes, the new book appealed to me personally a lot as well. We'll talk about Matt Fitzgerald. Yeah. I think it appealed to a lot of people. But you know what? I'm just not a big blog person anymore. And so like, even though like I didn't know that Matt Fitzgerald had a blog, I certainly didn't know, read about his blog like as it was happening, even though he was like not like live blogging, but like blogging his progress as he was going through it. And even now, I'm just not that interested in the blog. Even though I really like his writing, I don't know what it is about that. But the book, I really enjoyed. Tough Duck 414 says Matt Fitzgerald made his own YouTube video on the experience too. It wasn't great, but watchable. I did watch that video, and watching that video, I agree with that kind of assessment. It didn't have a level of polish that you would kind of hope for, which I feel like that was kind of like a missed opportunity there. But the fact that he was able to make his own video about his experience was like, then why didn't he read his own book? Like, I just don't, I'm like very disappointed. If I ever meet him, that's good. That'll be like the one thing that I'll say. It's like, I'm a big fan, but why the hell don't you read your own books? Please. You certainly can. And it makes it that much more enriching of an experience. Yeah. Let's see. Jeff Flanagan says the black-blue colorway on the Hyperion is awesome. Yeah, I like it on the Tempo. I also like the new color that came out, and it looks like that Andy FOD runner has the like the cookies and cream version of the Hyperion Tempo. I think he just got them. Jeff Elliott says the AutoZero Pro upper looks like a mesh tank top from football. It does. It does look like. Well, I mean that's what the SL20 looks like. It looks like a soccer cleat with the cleats shaved off. But I'm like, that works for me. It's Adidas. In the U.S., I really equate them with soccer more than I equate them with running or basketball or any of the other sports or even like American football. So I kind of like that about it. But I'm also I really want to know what it's not Light Strike. It's some other foam that's in there. And I'm really excited to see what that's going to be like. Yeah. Simon Partridge says, SL20s for 50 pounds or about $62. Is that a good buy? I think it's a great buy because like, that's like, I mean, as far as shoes go, that's like impulse purchase for shoes and for running shoes. And I just feel like you'll find a way to get your $62 or your 50 pounds out of that. I don't know why that shoe is so far on discount. It doesn't make any sense. It also doesn't make sense that they're not really selling the Boston 9. The only place that you can find it anymore is on like Not even like the main retailers, but on like the places that you're like, this looks like a legit running website. I guess I could buy shoes from here. Like those are the places that still have inventory, but nowhere else. Like I don't think anyone else has inventory of it. It's I don't know what's happening with Adidas running right now. All right. So, yeah, Martha says soccer is the runningest sport besides running. I would probably agree with that. What other sports are there that involve so much running? I don't know. Jeff Elliott says in high school, the soccer players ran a lot with us, like the cross country team. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I remember that too. Um, yeah, it was, I mean, for us, like in the fall, people either ran cross country or played soccer. And then in the spring, they were track runners, so that's kind of how I remember seeing it. That's true. Lacrosse is soccer with poles. I could see lacrosse being one, but I don't. Yeah, I think with Shannon saying it's not a lot. It's not as much running. I don't think there is a lot of running. It's very intense, but I think it's not quite the same level of running as soccer, is it? Hockey is a good one though. I think hockey is very much like an endurance sport, depending on how you play, right? I guess if it's more of like a bruiser style, it's not. But like if you're playing on like the style, like I think it's like European style is a little bit different. They have larger rinks. There's less contact. It's a lot more movement. I could see that. I could see that. Very cool. All right. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. And I think the consensus is here is that like the phone in Friday is cool for once in a while. I think I got to find a better way to use it. And I won't make it a regular thing. I'll find it if there's like an instance where it makes sense. Or if I'm in a new place, I'm traveling or something, whenever I can travel again and I don't have access to like a live stream setup, I think I'll save it for that. But I think we'll go back to just having our regular. I mean, Friday just might be. I like pizza on Friday, so I think we might replace phone in Friday with pizza Friday because I feel like that's it. That makes a lot more sense to me. But thanks for everyone for putting up with it and testing it out and giving it a fair shot. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Martha said she had fun. Jeff Flanagan giving me the thumbs up. Awesome. So I'll say thanks to everybody, and I will see you guys in the next one. Be safe. I'll be on tomorrow, 3 o'clock. It'll be. I don't know if there'll be a video tomorrow. It might be tomorrow or Sunday. I usually like to only do one video over the weekend, just to give myself a little bit of a break, get some long runs in. But there'll be one video over the weekend, but definitely live stream tomorrow. Video live stream at 3.